According to the passage, Bond hypothesized that which of the following circumstances would allow red stained sediment grains to reach more southerly latitudes. So we know that the red sediment stains come on icebergs, and this is my horribly drawn iceberg, but they're the red sediment stains. And they go north, north-south, but they go south in this case. And how do they get south? Well, if we, let's actually make a, well, that's actually misleading. Let's call this, aha, there we go, that's south. Much more intuitive. So there's the iceberg, and it's going south. How does it reach south? So we, of course, have to, once we've kind of conceptualized our little iceberg like that, we have to actually go back to the passage. And if you read in line 31, it says, during some periods, the bottom layer of the world's ocean comes from cold, dense water sinking in the far North Atlantic. Okay, makes sense. What happens? Well, when the cold water sinks, this causes the warm surface waters of the Gulf Stream to be pulled northward. So interesting. So what's happening when the cold water sinks? This warm water from the Gulf comes up here. What does it do to icebergs? Well, it melts them. So if you're an iceberg, you won't even really get that far south if you have this warm Gulf water coming up in the first place. So how, therefore, will an iceberg get south? Only if what? Only if there are cold waters. So let's read on. So Bond realized that during such periods, the influx of these warm surface waters could cause a large proportion of the icebergs that bear red grains to melt. Makes sense. And then it says, but sometimes, and we're going to read on even a little bit more here, the ocean's dynamic changes and waters from the Gulf Stream do not travel northward in this way. And during this period, surface waters in the Atlantic would generally be, North Atlantic would generally be colder. So if water appears really cold and all of this warm water is no longer coming up this far north and all the cold water stretches really far, you'll see that icebergs won't melt until they get really far south. Therefore, the colder the water is up north, that will allow icebergs to go farther south. And so the answer there is E, the presence of cold waters in the North Atlantic, which is again way up here, and this allows this cold water to stretch out here so the icebergs don't melt until they're very far south. So E is our answer.